Today is Tuesday, May 6th. I dropped my daughter off to school and I was just on the way to school thinking about how the last like 24, 36-ish hours have not gone ideally for me with respect to some of the things I wanted to accomplish between school, things with her, and then some of my like extracurricular freelance projects. I just haven't been able to get where I wanted to and make progress on those things. But most importantly right now, I wanted to address how I feel like I'm being a very crappy group member and the irony behind that, because I'm currently taking organizational behavior and operations management, and literally last week one of the terms in our readings was social loafing, which is essentially when you're a member of a group and the likelihood of you to contribute equitably reduces when you're in a group setting. And that is literally me right now, and it is really weighing on me because in the operations class we are currently participating in a national supply chain management simulation. So it's Tuesday, we've got like 3 more days of simulation, and the team has been going at it in the group chat, like planning, strategizing, talking about how they're gonna update the Q and the R, our order point, and the inventory point at which we like reorder, and then the quantity that we want to keep, all that. And I just feel so useless. I know what's going on, but it's all not like fully clicking for me. And so just think of it in the sense of like, if people are doing long division and you're still mastering multiplication, like that's kind of where I'm at. Like I get it, but I'm not able to like apply it, and like the simulation is ongoing. Each team for our cohort is a firm, and we're operating a factory and a warehouse, and we're shipping to customers. And so we were given a certain amount of money at the beginning. We were able to add capacity if we wanted to for a price of like $50,000 per additional drum. We're making chemicals in a plant. I just feel like such a bad group member, and I typically pride myself on being someone who, like, even if I don't know what's going on, or if I'm not like the master of the topic at hand, like I find some way to contribute, and like to this point I have not been able to. And as it continues, I feel like I have less and less of a space to do so, because they're getting deeper into it, and like they're changing the numbers, because like that's part of it. You have to go in and change the numbers to maximize profit. Hashtag maximize profit. That's like the whole theme of the MBA, really. And they've changed the order point and stuff, and like someone was up until like 3 a.m. last night, sent their analysis in the Excel spreadsheet, and I'm like, I'm never gonna like catch up. But the thing was, here's how I started this, was talking about life and everything. My plan last night was to put my daughter to sleep and then stay up to really dive into what was going on, my own analysis, like get up to speed, and things just did not go the way that I needed them to. And then I have a meeting with one of my freelance clients later today, and I had wanted to spend some time prepping a document. And so I'm just feeling very, I guess, not super productive right now. Like the group aspect is really weighing on me, because I don't like being a person who contributes nothing. And if my group members were to say in the evaluation that like give her 0 points, like I would be, well, that will have been what I earned. And so I'm just having a tough time with it. And then also obviously balancing mothering and still full-time working. Oh, and this week is a crazy week with work. There's an event this evening, so I'm gonna have to leave work early, go get my daughter from school, take her to my mom's, and then take a call, and then go to that event this evening. And then there's something really early tomorrow, but I don't need to go to that. But also her school in the morning has a Muffins with Mom event, so I got to get her there a little bit early so we can go to that. And then of course gymnastics tomorrow after school. And then I believe there are events. I know there's events Friday for work, but they're doing the work day, so that's fine. And there's something else on Thursday. I believe it is office hours for one of my classes, and I originally had not been going. Like I mentioned, I was watching the recordings, but it would be beneficial to me, it would behoove me to watch them or to attend them live. And naturally I need to make sure I watch the lectures before the actual office hours so I know what's going on. So it's just like I'm just feeling like I don't have the same 24 hours. That's it's like kind of frustrating. And like, granted, I have made choices, and like there are things I could have done differently. Perhaps I need to go back to getting like fewer hours of sleep. Not ideal, but an option. But right now I'm just feeling like, you are not killing it. You are not killing it, girl. Between today and tomorrow, I definitely want to make sure I have watched all the lectures for this current week of the operations course, so by Thursday I can watch the live office hours and have an understanding of what's taking place. I think what I may also do is text one of the group members on the side and articulate that like I do want to contribute, but like I don't have a grasp of the material, and if they have ideas of ways that I can be supportive, I would like to, because it is not my nature to not do anything. And then also for the other class, we have a paper that we're working on, but I've already contributed all my pieces for the paper. I'm good there. Maybe I can take a more like lead role in writing the paper. I think that's an option, so they can see like, hey, like I want to contribute things. This is not my area, you know? If you guys have any ideas of how I could potentially be a better group member at this stage of the game, I would love to hear it. Obviously, by the time you see this video, this will have passed, but I'm curious to hear strategies that others may have and ideas y'all may have of how I can like better navigate and get over this feeling. I'm only halfway through my program, so that means I have ample more group collaboration opportunities. I would love some idea exchange and some idea sharing in the comments if you wouldn't mind. I've got to head into work and start my day. So I ended up reaching out to the leader of my group and I basically told her the truth. I was like, hey, I totally recognize that I've done nothing for this project and I really want to contribute. I didn't say it's unlike me, but I did establish that I want to contribute. I'm having a really hard time with the material and I don't know like what to offer, what to like provide. So she told me that she and another group member were planning to meet one-on-one this evening, but it's around the time that I would still be at the work event. And I was like, okay, I have a conflict. She was like recommending that I reach out to another person in the group, which I was probably gonna do anyway. She had offered to connect this evening in the group chat. So I had a separate conversation with the group leader, and then the other person that the group leader suggested had already mentioned in the chat something about we should do like a midway meetup point. So we're going to do that as a team tomorrow night, but I reached out to the other girls separately and I was like, hey, you know, I would love to connect with you because I'm not grasping the material and I want to be a contributing part of the team, blah, 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 blah. So all of that is to say, I think being honest and transparent and having a little bit of humility has really served me here. So part 2 of my day, I'm gonna go relocate this child, take the call, and then go to this work event. So that's like part 2. I guess part 3 of the day is picking up the child, going home, and then meeting with the one group member. We're gonna meet around 9. I do want to show that like I am trying, because I really, it's really making me feel like bad that I've not done anything. And I don't know, I just don't like when people do that to me, and I'm just like really struggling. And granted, it's no one's like obligation and responsibility to like make sure I've got it. Like we are all doing this like on our own. Like this is our, not on our own, but our education is our responsibility. And so I'm just really trying to lean on my group and just be like, hey guys, like I'm having a tough time. That's where we're at with it. I'm going to do my best to check back in when I get on the call with my classmate, and hopefully by the end of this video I will have found some resolution, or at least a little bit more comfort in the material so I don't feel useless. On the flip side, one part of this experience, just getting the MBA in general, that I find myself saying to myself a lot is, I never thought about that. Right now we're talking about supply chain management. I've never once thought about how much product we should hold in inventory and what is the point at which we decide to order more and maximize profit and mitigate the cost via truck or mail, depending on how many we order. Like I've never once thought about that. I have, however, thought about how a lot of the girlies will open up their boutiques via Instagram and TikTok, and then they buy this like huge stock of product, and I always wonder like who's ordering this many hoodies, who's ordering these t-shirts. I think the little chocolates are popular right now, and you see the people making the chocolates, or even like the skincare stuff where they like hand squeeze it into the jars. I'm always wondering like how many sales are they getting? Like are people really ordering this much stuff? And there's so many different brands and independent creators of all these different products. And I guess that's just me having a scarcity mindset perhaps, because I just have no concept of how much of this stuff we ever really need and like how much people are ordering. I don't know. Anyway, I'll check back a little bit later. All right, now we're on to part 3 of my day. I went to my work event and picked my daughter up from my mom, so I had to like literally fumble in the house, snatch her up and be like, hey, we gotta go, you can't stay at Gigi's house. Jumped in the shower as soon as we got home. Remembered that I ordered something from Wayfair that said it was delivered. It was not at my door, so I had to walk to the mailroom. It's already approaching 8:45. Okay, it's 8:38. Anyway, I feel like that guy who people were making fun of on TikTok who was like, you know, I've got 3 days in my 24 hours.
My day is 6 a.m. to noon, and I'm not crazy. My second day starts at noon and goes till 6 p.m. And then the next day is 6 p.m. to midnight.
And somebody was like, so this guy invented shifts. I'm about to hop on here and let her know that I'm available. I'm hopeful that after this conversation, I feel like I'm not the worst group member ever and that I have something to offer. And I just got off the phone with my classmate. We were on there for about 40 minutes. It was a really good conversation. She's so sweet. It's one of those things where like you kind of talk to people in one capacity, even though we're virtual. But think of it like if you talk to somebody at work, it's only ever at work. But then when you step aside from them like one-on-one, you get to learn more about them and like develop more of a relationship. That's kind of like what just happened, and it was really sweet. I do have a better understanding and a firmer grasp of the content. I do need to go back and rewatch some of the lectures and like look over my notes again. I think even take handwritten notes. This term I actually started taking computer notes. All the prior terms I took handwritten notes and I was like, okay, this is so inefficient, I'm not gonna do this, da, 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 da. I really think that helped me. So at least for operations management, I'm gonna take some handwritten notes on some of the formulas and some of the like higher level concepts so I can better grasp them and articulate them. For organizational behavior, I'm gonna keep doing computer notes because the book is on the computer and I kind of just write down like definitions and high level concepts anyway. So, and we can have printed notes with us. So I'm gonna keep doing computer for that. So I feel good. Again, today's only Tuesday. The simulation goes until Friday. So I still have time to redeem myself. And we also need to calculate the stopping point, the point at which we stop production so we can get our supply as close to zero as possible and not lose out on any sales. So after kind of looking over some of the stuff and like going back over it, I'll try to do some calculations and try to like offer suggestions on how we look at that. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. If you hung on me for this long, I super appreciate it. Let me know in the comments what you want to see next from me, what you want to know more about in my MBA journey. Do you like this style of video where I'm kind of just like going off the cuff, letting you know like what I'm dealing with in the moment and then trying to walk through it? Is this something you're into? I want to hear that as well. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Forget literally everything I said before. In a fascinating turn of events, they have booted me from the group. I got this text message this morning. Mind you, it's Mother's Day. This is a learning lesson. I'm learning, I'm reflecting, realizing stuff, realizing things.
This year is really about like the year of just realizing stuff, and everyone around me, we're all just like realizing things.
I'm not mad about the fact that they felt that I wasn't a good group member and wanted me kicked out. I do, however, feel a way about the way it was handled. Anywho, yeah, I'm getting a new group, so that's fun. I don't know, y'all. I don't know, but I was about to edit this video, literally, and then this happened today, so I had to put this in here. So happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. Have a wonderful summer. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.